TechTimeRadio.com.
We're excited to have this episode brought to us by Riverside.fm. And quite literally, I was using Riverside before they became a sponsor, as that is what I use to record both my podcasts. Everything is marketing and default alive. I used to use Zoom until someone interviewed me using Riverside, and I knew I had to switch. I love it because they take local recordings on each side, which gives you a reliable connection and the highest quality audio and video, which is very important for a podcast and live stream. Separate tracks, iOS app, and automatic transcriptions. It's made specifically for podcasters. Folks like Guy Raza from How I Built This, Cortland Allen from Indie Hackers, and even Hillary Clinton uses it, if you can believe that. Check them out and all the other features they have at Riverside.fm. That's Riverside.fm. They are the true podcasting software to get the high quality interviews sounding like they're live. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Guess what? Our favorite sponsor's back.
Oh, it's the puzzle dude from Unidragon.
That's right, Unidragon. Yep, Unidragon.com. They have a brand new item. It's called the Playful Parrots. It's a 5-in-1 puzzle that comes on out that actually comes all the way up to the brand new size, which is the royal size. Now they're small, medium, king size, and royal size, so you can get 7 times bigger than the standard puzzle. What do you think about the Playful Parrots? Being a pirate adventurer that you are, Mike, what say you?
Oh, the owl's jealous.
The owl's jealous? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What's the owl saying about the parrots?
Oh, there's 5 of them and 1 of him.
That's right. That's what happens. You know what? When you're the original, sometimes you get replaced and upgraded. So if you want to get upgraded in your puzzles, now's the time to go to Unidragon.com. Again, that's Unidragon.com. Don't be fooled by other imitation puzzle makers. Only get your true puzzle from Unidragon.com. They're the best, and they're the world's leader in wooden puzzles. Tech Time listeners, use promo code DRAGONTECH. Again, that's DRAGONTECH for a 10% discount code. They're no longer 3 sizes, Mike. Guess how many they are now?
They're 4 sizes.
That's right. They're 4 sizes. Make sure to visit techtimeradio.com/sponsors and click on the Order Now button to go directly to Unidragon. Our #1 sponsor says thank you, and the owl is jealous. Hey, Mike.
What?
Have you ever heard of the company Deep Sentinel?
No, what's that?
The future of home security is here. Imagine walking in front of a security camera, and suddenly it comes to life, asking you what you're doing on the property.
That'd be like Jabba the Hutt's palace.
Well, the future of home security is here with Deep Sentinel, the only home security system that delivers an experience of a personal guard on every customer's home. No false alarms, and the fastest police response times, period. Deep Sentinel sees and engages with any suspicious person on your property 24/7 and in real time. Not only is Deep Sentinel preventing break-ins, but with the holidays around the corner, Deep Sentinel prevents package theft, car break-ins, and getting shady people off your property.
Don't get stuck with a traditional home alarm system. They are outdated and riddled with false alarms, causing massive issues for police departments.
Now it's the time for the holidays and the time for you to check out Deep Sentinel. Go and visit them at deepsentinel.com. Again, that's Deep Sentinel, SENTINEL.com, and use the code Virtual Guards for 10% off. Again, the code is Virtual Guards for 10% off.
Check out deepsentinel.com and refer the code Virtual Guards for 10% off.
I'm going to do that right now.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week. The show for the everyday common person with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. I'm Nathan, and welcome to our show. We are live streaming in studio Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and our home radio station, KKNW, 1150 a.m. If you're not listening or watching our show on Saturday afternoons, then you're listening to a rebroadcast, so make sure to visit www.techtimeradio.com to keep up with all the latest information. Tech Time is a weekly 2-hour technology show about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Now, where do you go for all your Tech Time information? Always visit techtimeradio.com, and you can watch our live streams. Of course, we're on Twitch TV right now. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. Or you can go to techtimeradio.com and watch our live stream. We got all of the greatest information. We have archives from episodes, and of course, you can even look at an NFT to purchase from Mr. Gourdet that was available out there. So
That's right.
That's right. Now, let's engage us on Twitch, and if you would like to call us live in the studio, you can call us at 425-373-5527 or 188-298-KKNW. Again, that's 188-298-5569 to be a part of the show. David will put you on and patch you, and you can ask us a question, and we'll answer it live on the air. All right, let's start our show.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now on today's show.
That's right. On today's show, Russia is again shooting missiles into space. We got crypto fans losing out on the Constitution. And did Zuckerberg steal technology from a small company while trying to push Instagram to kids?
Yeah, that guy can't get a break.
That's right. How about preserving older games with legal emulation that is being driven from one of the most unlikely companies? Plus, renaming the Staples Center to a web company name that sells crypto. And then, of course, finally, we have our pick of the day, whiskey tastings, and Mike's mesmerizing moment, brought to us by Story Coffee. All of this in hour one of our show. And on the second hour, we've got Nick Espinosa talking about security breaches. We're going to talk about some hospital hacks, and we're going to talk about what you can do to protect yourself over this holiday weekend. It's a big weekend for spammers and people sending ill-advised emails to people asking them to send money and different stuff. So we're going to love our letter segment because we got some of them already.
That's today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We got some already prepping into that.
Awesome.
All right, well, welcome to the show that makes you go, technology of the news of the week for November 20th through the 26th. Now it's time for Mr. Gourdet to start our show with what we always consider the best part. This is brought to you by Elderberry Boost. Make sure you get all of your elderberry items at elderberry-boost.com, and it's our loaded question of the week. All right, Mr. Gourdet, are you ready for this? What would... Oh, no, we won't do that one. We're going to do that next hour. What do you think is the president's email password?
Remember, this is a PG show.
There you go. Welcome back, David.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I might have to decline to answer that.
What'd you say? What do you think? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I can't say that on the radio.
Well, can you give us a hint of what you think the president's password is?
Does it start with the letter after E?
It would start with F, and it probably has Trump's name in it.
Oh, do you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
So it's F Trump? Is that what you're trying to say?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, that's a beautiful. You know what? I would say that his password is password 123. You think so? That's you know that is like 90% of passwords.
Are
password 123.
Yeah, I know.
And now they're getting really complicated. So every once in a while, somebody will put an exclamation part at the end of it because they have to have a capital letter. So the P is always capital.
I know.
Password. And then you have to have numbers. So that's like 1, 2, 3. And then people put an exclamation point at the end. And you got yourself everything you need to make sure you pass the new standards of having that additional character.
That is so dumb.
That is. But, that is a very high one. All right. Well, Mike, we always have our whiskey tasting during the show. So we're going to be tasting. After our first break, we'll explain which whiskey we're tasting. We'll either give it a thumbs up, we'll give it a thumbs down, or maybe we'll have a split vote and see what happens. Last week's whiskey was 2 thumbs up, so we'll see how it does this week.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, now it's time to move to our very first segment.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
All right. Now, David, we are glad to have you back. We missed you yesterday. Or last week, not yesterday. Last week being on the show, we had Mr. Miller filling in. So welcome back. Glad everything took care of everything and you were safe.
Yes, I was safely sitting in Tomlinson Stadium at Central Washington University watching a 70-0 rout by the Wildcats.
All right. Well, there you go. Wow. Okay, here we go. Story number one.
That means absolutely nothing.
Okay, here we go. Crypto fans lose out on the Constitution. We have an audio clip. Let's go to that right now and see what this is actually about.
The bid is yours for the United States Constitution at $41 million.
A group of cryptocurrency enthusiasts have failed in their bid to buy a first edition copy of the US Constitution. The extremely rare document sold for $43.2 million at a Sotheby's auction on Thursday. the identity of the winning bidder was not immediately clear, nor was it clear why the cryptocurrency group, called Constitution DAO, was outbid at that price. Their crowdfunding page had quickly amassed more than $47 million. If they had succeeded, contributors would not have had any stake in the valuable document, but instead would have been given so-called government's tokens to advise on what happened to it. The document they missed out on is one of 11 known existing copies from the official first printing of the US Constitution, which was adopted by America's founding fathers in Philadelphia in 1787.
So let's talk about this. So this is a very interesting deal.
I think it's cool that someone British was
talking about our
doing
Constitution.
about-
That's where we go and we get the news straight from the source. All right. So a cryptocurrency flash mob.
Uh-huh.
All right. So they were on all online communicating about putting money into a central deposit to collect money to buy the Constitution. Now, it was called a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization.
Mm-hmm.
It is a new part of cryptocurrency in the blockchain technology that's out there. So what it does is it's kind of, have you ever seen like a GoFundMe page, where someone says, okay, I'll pay you $10 here, I'll pay you. So this is the same thing, but now done on cryptocurrency wide, where each of the people, depending on how much they spend, would receive voting rights to be able to make decisions on what they purchase.
Mm-hmm.
So within 72 hours, they had raised over $40 million in contributions. Just think of that. In 72, $40 million people were willing to pay to not own the Constitution, but to make a decision of what to do and have voting rights for this.
That's about as interesting as NFTs.
Well, so it's kind of the same thing. It's a brand new version of the NFT, right?
Yeah.
So this is a version where essentially you get voting power by how much you spend, and then essentially you're going to decide what to do with the physical documentation, and whoever bids the most has the most control of what goes on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again, cryptocurrency platform allows you to make decisions and have voting power in borderless decentralization organization. It does not rely on the banks to store the cash, but instead it had smart contracts that would have been sent out to each of these individuals upon a purchase of those items. Brand new technology, very interesting.
Digital.
That most people are saying that there was no reason that they actually wanted to purchase the Constitution, but they wanted to get the word out about their new platform, about the ability of what you can do, and so this is how they did that.
Yeah, so that's why we're doing it right now.
That's right. So we talked about it.
We're
So
giving,
we're giving them their
we're giving them
air
what they want.
and to talk about this new technology.
So you think they just stopped bidding?
Yeah, so it said I think that they had a pretty good idea of what the value was going to be, and I think they stopped bidding so that they didn't have to pay the money, and all the money was refunded back to everybody that bid on it. But essentially, what happened is they got lots of press. We're now talking about them, and now other people will probably use those for other items. Maybe we want to purchase a car, or maybe we want to purchase a collectible item, maybe
Why
a
would you
baseball.
want to buy a car if you can't drive it?
Well, let's say collectible car. Let's say like a collectible, like a 1950 Chevy.
Unless it's a timeshare.
Well, so it's got some timeshare elements to this, doesn't it? All right.
Like
well, I think
I need the car on Tuesday. Can I? How much did you put in there? For $5. No,
okay. Well,
you can't have it.
You got the next story about your buddy. So you ready for this one?
Yeah. We're
Okay.
gonna talk about Mark
Zuckerberg, right? Okay. What's he doing?
Zuckerberg. So I guess last week he showed off this haptic glove.
Yep.
That touched off a problem. Apparently, a VR robotics company called Haptics,
Yep.
HAPTX, accused him and Meta of copying his patented technology to build that glove.
Well, no way.
Which was showed off on, I believe, is on Twitter, wasn't it?
It was a live stream, so it was on Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook
they
and
put
Twitter.
They put it everywhere out there,
I guess,
so you could see
yeah,
it.
that would.
Yeah, it'd be kind of dumb to do Twitter if you're on Facebook, right?
Here,
It was on Meta. It was in the metaverse.
That's where I the metaverse. Okay. There we go. So the prototype that Mark Zuckerberg showed off this week or last week is facing allegations that actually based on existing patented technology. They have been Haptics, which is the company that is suing them, has been developing and demoing its haptic glove for VR for years now. And on Tuesday of this week, Haptics accused Meta, which we've made fun of a lot, of copying the patents and to help build the prototype glove. And it lets the wearer feel texture and pressure when touching digital objects in virtual reality. Virtual reality. That was a tongue twister.
Okay.
So the core components of the prototype, including the silicon-based microfluidic tactile feedback laminate and pneumatic control architecture, appear to be substantively identical to haptics' patented technology. We welcome an interest in the competition in the field of microfluidic haptics. However, competition must be fair for the industry to thrive.
So now this is a Seattle-based company.
Yes.
So being the investigators and technology gurus we are, we sent them an email. I said, could I put you on today's show? And I would have given them the floor for probably a good 30 minutes to let them talk about their technology.
Yeah, they declined.
So I received an email back from Joe Michaels, the Chief Revenue Officer, that says he appreciated the offer to do the radio interview. Currently, right now, we are not doing interviews on this topic.
Yeah, they probably can't.
I would expect that they can't because they probably have legal people that are saying, don't say a thing, we're going to take care of this. But I just find that funny that you go on and do a big press release and that you have exactly the same technology of another company that you've previously looked at, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's
yeah, that's the same thing Amazon keeps getting in trouble with, right?
Yeah, they just knock off when you start selling something really well.
When you start selling something really well, they
go to China
they essentially
and
copy it, and then they start selling it on their Prime
at just
site.
2 cents lower than whatever you're ever going to post it.
Yep. So,
all right, story number 3: UK and US joins forces to strike back at cyber security items. The US and UK are joining forces to impose huge adversaries who continuously send malicious cyber attacks.
Consequences?
The combined action will address an evolving threat full-ranged. The plan was discussed last week at an annual meeting of intelligence chiefs in the United States. Specifically, the concern is over Russia-based ransomware.
Mm-hmm.
General Sir Patrick Sanders and Government Communication Headquarters Director Sir Jeremy Fleming of U.S. Cyber Command reaffirmed their commitment to jointly disrupt and deter any new emerging cyber threats. Russia is going to be a lot of talked about in today's episode. We got a lot of Russia stuff. Russia's getting a little bit of an itch to kind of do some things that they probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, this is the Russia stuff this week.
All right, so we go back to.
Well, we're going to go back to Facebook.
Okay, you're up again. Oh, your favorite company again. That's so funny that you had this story. What are we going to talk about?
So the U.S. State Attorney is probing Instagram's effects on kids.
What?
We've talked about this several times,
Yep.
and I have my opinions about it, which reflect the more unpopular things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't think it's a good idea either. Essentially, the Attorney General is going to spend a bunch of time
That's
looking
right.
into Facebook to see if they have specifically targeted young
That's right.
kids.
A bipartisan coalition of U.S. state attorneys general said on Thursday it is open to probe into Facebook, now known as Meta Platforms, for promoting its subsidiary Instagram to children despite potential harms. The investigation involving at least 9 states comes at a time when Facebook is continually under scrutiny over its approach to children and young adults.
Really?
Always. The attorneys generals are investigating whether the company violated consumer protection laws and put young people at risk. A spokesperson said that Facebook, now Meta, has failed to protect young people on its platforms and instead chose to ignore or in some case double down on known manipulations that pose a real threat to physical and mental health, especially exploiting children in the interest of profit.
Yeah.
Of course, they shot back.
Yeah.
Meta
and
shot back with the accusations are false and
of course
demonstrated deep misunderstanding of the facts.
Yeah, of
which
course.
I think that's been reverberated around the halls of Congress several times.
That makes sense.
When he's sitting there getting probed.
All right. So you know what? Instagram should not be for children under 13. It shouldn't even be for children under 16, in my opinion.
A lot of these things, the way they're built, really affect mental health.
Yep.
But that's true for everything. The whole technology gambit ends up affecting our mental health.
It does. It's like an influence, right? I mean, we want technology to be able to provide us stuff, and technology in return influences our decision making. It's just the more super steroid version of a commercial on television.
Yeah, the more advanced a society is, quotations.
Yeah.
The more instances of social problems they have.
That makes sense.
So That's one of the interesting things.
All right, David says we need to move on, and he keeps us. All
Yeah,
right, story number
we got
5.
saluted.
Staples Center, he did. He's back, and he's in
He's
all
in
of his
rare
glory.
form today.
I know. Staples Center becomes Crypto.com Arena in a reported $700 million naming rights. So the Staples Center has been around forever. Now they're calling it Crypto.com.
Yeah, that's like all these other stadiums.
Like Climate Pledge.
Like climate, is it Climate Pledge Arena or Climate?
It's Climate Pledge Arena.
That's right. So what is that about?
Is Wrigley Field still Wrigley Field?
Yeah, it is. Oh my! And you know what? They still have the ivy in the back. I mean, yeah. And if you've ever gone to Wrigley Field, which I've been at the stadium, so old, so traditional, really cool. And if you ever get a chance to visit the Boston Red Sox Stadium,
that would be Fenway Park.
There you go. Thank you, David. Fenway Park. The best part is the concession stands literally are underneath wooden bleachers at Fenway Park. And this old signs, people with old pieces of paper up there. Nothing's fancy, and they're selling peanuts and popcorn and everything that you don't get at these high-end stadiums. Oh, it's the best.
All right.
Those are 2 things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finish the story.
There you go.
Man.
So,
Finish the story.
Crypto.com is paying $700 million, according to multiple reports, over 20 years to rename the building. The parties aren't publicly announcing in financial terms, and hopefully they're not paying it off in Bitcoin, because you never know if it goes up or down. There you go. That's the end of our top stories in the first 5 minutes. When we return, oh boy, we got lots of stuff that we're going to be talking about on our Technology Insider. We got a segment talking about a space nebula that creates sound from, and then we're going to be talking about the space station under attack. Pretty big deal. All right, we're going to see you right after this break. I'm Nathan. We got Mike Roday here, David Brown behind the boards. We'll see you after this. Hi, I'm Nathan Mumm, host of TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm on KKNW. TechTime Radio's live show is Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m., and you can always check us on the web at techtimeradio.com. Our segmented stylized radio gives you the breaking news before it hits mainstream media. Join myself and Mike Roday as we'll make you laugh.
That's good. So, Hooked on Phonics worked for you, didn't it?
It did, just a little bit. And learning something new in technology. Join us Saturdays 4 to 6 p.m. and Thursdays from 6 to 7 a.m. The technology show for the everyday common person.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, the show that takes a positive, forward-looking approach to mid to late career transitions for Gen Xers and Boomers every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock Pacific. Whether you're looking to stay in the traditional workforce, do your own thing, or retire or semi-retire, Reigniting You is your source for career transition advice, inspiration, and insight for what's next in your career and life. Join me Wednesdays at 3 o'clock to get re-energized, recharged, and reignited.
All right, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. We just had our first whiskey tasting. Mike, during the break, we got to sample our whiskey pick of the day. And today we have chosen the Glenmorangie La Senta.
You got it right.
I know, I got that all right,
you
man.
You were practicing that for like a week.
I was. It's $38.99. It's 92 proof. But when we looked at the bottle, we did this as we were sampling. It said it may actually only be 89 proof. So I don't know which one's right, whether it's their bottling or if it's
clearly somebody was drunk while they were printing out labels.
But you know what? I know why they were drunk, because this is
good stuff.
Smooth, man. This is phenomenal. The Highlands of Scotland has La Senta's warm passion with a single malt delivery of sweet chocolates, toffee aromas, led by a full flavor containing hints of orange, walnut, and butter toffee.
Yeah,
long finish with spice orange and a chocolate hazelnut note.
Yeah, La Senta means passion and warmth in Gaelic.
That's right.
I don't know if I just pronounced that correctly.
I think you did, though. That's what you bring. You bring the nice English words to the full, proper pronunciation of what needs to be done. Oh, there you go. All right. Although I've been pretty good today. I've been slowing down. You know, I will have glasses on next week, and from here on out.
Where are your glasses?
They're at Costco, so I need to go pick them up. And once I go and pick up my glasses, I will have glasses 24/7 now. I will always have glasses on. That's just means my eyes are getting old.
Welcome to the downhill side.
It's either that or my notes had to get much bigger, and I don't know if we could go to 22 font and start reading that, so that wouldn't work really well.
Yeah, that's what I do with my text messages. I have them on the high setting.
The high setting, so you look at them and you're like, oh, wow, I got to scroll through it 18 times.
Sucks.
It does. You know what? The worst part about it is that when you wake up in the morning, everything aches. Oh, everything aches. I just don't understand that. Like, I didn't do anything. I just slept, and I still wake up. My arm aches, this aches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can injure yourself while you're sleeping.
Who ever thought of that?
You wake up with a broken leg. What the heck? I just rolled over.
I just rolled over. All right. David keeping us on gear. He's waving his fingers again. All right, let's start our next segment.
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
All right, welcome to Technology Insider. We have two rather interesting stories regarding outer space. We are really kind of
this is
right
the
now.
Second week we've talked about space stuff.
We're kind of in the space right now, aren't
Well,
we?
I like space stuff.
We talk about it a lot, and we go into some great dialogue in our production meetings. So we're going to talk about story number one. NASA shares sound of the Butterfly Nebula created through data sonification. Have you ever imagined what the sound of a nebula in deep space is like? Thanks to NASA, we can now hear the sound of the Butterfly Nebula through data sonification as it soars across space at more than 966,000 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I don't know.
Most people would wonder what that sounds like, but
well, you know what? We got it. So you know what? We're going to go right now. This is, of course, the Butterfly Nebula, also known as NGC 6302, lies within our Milky Way galaxy between 2,500 and 38,000 light years. 3,800 light years away in the constellation Scorpius. Let's take a listen to that sound now.
sounds like a Disney flick.
Does it sound like a Disney flick?
It sounds like a Disney flick.
So that is the sound of the nebula. Again, it looks like a butterfly. And so if you take the transition of it, NASA was happy to share that information. And it just tells you what it's like. Just think of hearing that in deep space.
Well, you wouldn't hear it in deep space.
Well, you would hear
this is radiation signals translated into sound.
Sound, that's correct. A harp sound is specifically is what they used it for. Okay, well, story number 2. A reckless Russian missile test blows up a satellite in space, forcing the ISS astronauts to take shelter. So the U.S. Department condones the action, and NASA's administrator
They condemn the action. They don't condone it.
Oh, sorry, condemns the action.
That's two different words, man.
Condemns the action, and NASA administration Bill Nelson calls it irresponsible and destabilizing. 7 crew members aboard the International Space Station had to take emergency shelter, and a space rocket docked at the ISS on Monday because of a new potential dangerous debris field generated by a Russian anti-satellite test. The astronauts huddled inside the SpaceX Crew Dragon as the Russian missile exploded one of the nation's dead spy satellites. So essentially they have a satellite up in space. Russia did. This satellite was supposed to spy on the United States. So what they decided to do is they decided, as some test deal with their missile launching capability, they decided to blow this to bits. Mm-hmm. And what happened is the shockwave and the debris, they didn't consider what would happen to that. So all of a sudden after...
I'm sure they considered.
Well, they probably did. They probably knew what they were doing. And essentially what that did is everybody in the International Space Station had to go into an escape pod in case debris hit the space station and they were not able to patch it and developed leaks into outer space that they could not take care of. And they were going to then immediately come back to Earth so that they could be safe because of this incident.
Right.
With a long and storied history of human spaceflight, it's unthinkable that Russia would endanger not only the Americans, but the international partner astronauts on the ISS, and also their own cosmonauts. So they had a cosmonaut that was up there that is in the International Space Station that is Russian descent. So from Russia, in the International Space Station, that guy's probably texting them, "What are you doing? Quit drinking your vodka," or something like that.
Don't try to.
You don't want me to do my Russian?
Don't try to do your Russian accent.
Now let's listen to Ned Price, the United States State Department spokesman, regarding this specific incident.
The Russian Federation recklessly conducted a destructive satellite test of a direct ascent anti-satellite missile against one of its own satellites. The test has so far generated over 1,500 pieces of trackable orbital debris and hundreds of thousands of pieces of smaller orbital debris that now threaten the interests of all nations. In addition, this test will significantly increase the risk to astronauts and cosmonauts on the International Space Station, as well as to other human spaceflight activities. Russia's dangerous and irresponsible behavior jeopardizes the long-term sustainability of our outer space and clearly demonstrates that Russia's claims of opposing the weaponization of space are disingenuous and hypocritical. The United States will work with our allies and partners to respond to Russia's irresponsible act.
So you know what? People are concerned about this. Actually, this is like a big deal that we haven't heard about in the mainstream media, that they are concerned that Russia could be looking to start a Cold War race in space. That's what they're saying. They are concerned that they're going to use space as this new frontier for them to put information out and to put satellites out and to take
like Space Cowboys.
Yeah, kind of like
that movie.
I do remember that movie. So this is kind of a big deal for everybody involved, not including just NASA, but everybody involved, because the International Space Station has been used by many people. Very open, kind of like an open source program. Everybody likes it. They can all go and visit it. They can all do research on there. They can work together. And now all of a sudden you got satellites being shot to bits, and these bits are all just floating out there. I mean, there's going to be a time soon in space where you're going to have to figure out the hole to get through the debris, and I guess you're going to have to go to Wozniak, and he's going to go and clean
Wozniak
it up.
is
going to clean it all up,
he's
right?
doing like space vacuuming. So
right.
he's on top of that.
You remember the movie Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Where they transform into that vacuum?
Yeah, but they just sucked air out of a planet. They didn't.
That's true. They didn't clean up, but I could just see that now. Some big satellite up
That's
there.
right.
It's going to clean it up.
So maybe that's where Wozniak got his idea.
Well, maybe that would be it. All right. Well, you know what?
Watching Spaceballs.
We're going to need to take a break, but when we return, we're going to be talking about our Gamer Time segment. Specifically, what if you had the chance to play games forever? Well, I'm Nathan Mumm. We got Micro Day here. David Brown behind the board, and we'll see you after this commercial break.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you heard of Dice Throne?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I hear it's pretty cool.
It's Yahtzee meets Magic: The Gathering. Dice Throne can be played as a 1-versus-1 dueling game.
Dice Throne has a great announcement that they have coming to Kickstarter regarding a game that is based on Marvel characters.
The Marvel Dice Throne is a fast and fun board game for all ages. Each player selects 1 to 8 heroes to face off in a head-to-head battle to see who earns the right to take the throne. Now, who would be your hero that you'd want to be?
Black Panther.
You like Black Panther?
That's right.
Mine is Loki, because Loki never stabs anybody in the back.
Not ever.
All right, well, the gameplay involves strategically rolling dice to activate special abilities, playing unique hero cards to manipulate results, and upgrading your hero board to power up your stats. This is currently being crowdfunded on Kickstarter. Go there now and reserve your copy.
Tech Time listeners, you're in luck, as we have a direct link to get you access to the Kickstarter for the Marvel Dice Throne game. That's correct. If you go to tinyurl.com/TechTime Dice Throne, again, that's tinyurl.com/TechTime Dice Throne, or you can just click on our sponsor page at techtimeradio.com to get the direct link there to sign up for the Kickstarter. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity. Mike, have you backed the Kickstarter campaign yet?
I did it yesterday.
All right, I'm going to do it tonight.
Make sure to use the tinyurl.com/TechTime Dice Throne, or to make it simple, go to techtimeradio.com and click on our sponsor link.
Yeah, I know. I like that music. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Mike, how is the whiskey tasting?
Mine's gone already.
It is. So is mine. It's the Glen Morangi La Senta 38.99 92 proof bottle.
Or 89 if you look at the label.
Or 89 if you look at the label. So it depends on which label you're looking at, because this is the information
I think it's
from their
better to
website.
look at the label.
You think it's better the label?
Yeah.
That's a Wines and
'Cause
More
you can
mini
get away with
bottle
drink
label,
more.
though. Are you sure that they wouldn't misprint one of those? Because that's not their standard size. I think they could misprint
No,
on that.
I mean, I think that's probably their label. They just
memorize it?
somebody confused the situation a little bit.
They did, especially when I get it from their website.
That's
So
right.
Their website says that there's more alcohol content. But let me ask you this. Would you actually buy a bottle of this?
Yeah.
I would too.
This is
This
really
is pretty
good.
smooth,
This
isn't
is
it?
really good.
It's you know what? The way this week goes, this is a perfect way to cap off the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some weeks Canadian Mist is the perfect way to cap it off.
I don't think Canadian Mist is good for anything. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you.
All right.
You'll change your tune there.
All right. Well, now that we got our drinks out of the way, we have our segments that explores technology specifically regarding our games. Welcome to Gamer Time. Let's start out with a company that was once considered the Darth Vader of software, now turning into the Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's Microsoft.
Did you come up with that yourself?
I did. You see my writing on that? That's pretty creative, isn't it?
No.
All right. Microsoft Xbox head Phil Spencer calls for legal emulation for older games. Now, have you ever played an emulator game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to run a Commodore 128 emulator on my Windows PC.
Okay, and you play a bunch of old games?
I run an emulator now for Nintendo.
Okay. See, I have a Raspberry Pi, and
Yeah.
I have a bunch of emulator ROMs on that too. And you know what? It's kind of a very gray area on if that's legal or not legal, because you're allowed to have a ROM if you own the game itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I owned the game at some time, does that mean I'm able to use the ROM? Nah.
I don't know.
So what if I rented a game from Blockbuster with
From
those around?
Gamefly?
Yeah, or from Gamefly. So essentially what Microsoft head Phil Spencer says is that he actually just wants a legal emulation for older games. Forget and most of this is done by fans that create these emulators. You load them on your machines, and you enjoy your games normally for a limited time. You're not normally like playing them hours on hours on hours.
No.
You're normally jumping in them 20, 30 minutes. You have a great time. You remember something, and you jump out, right?
You remember Lemmings?
I do. I loved Lemmings.
I have
Lemmings
that.
too?
I played that a couple of weeks ago.
You got the stop guy, you
Yep.
got the digger guy, and you literally have to get the digger guy and the basher guy at the same time so you can get the path to get them all out.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise they fall off and they go, they splat.
They splat.
That's right. Well, Xbox Phil Spencer has voiced that his belief that older games should be preserved, adding that he hopes the gaming industry can work on legal emulation to promote this. Spencer said that the gaming industry should prioritize the preservation of older video games, highlighting that film, TV, and music industries have already preserved older content. Spencer said there's positive reasons for gaming to want to follow suit. Spencer suggested that one way to enact video game preservation would be for industry leaders to offer legal emulation. He says, my hope, and I think we have a present of what's going on, is that the industry would work on legal emulation, that it would allow modern hardware to run any, within reason, older executables, allowing someone to play older games and any game at any time. I think in the end, if we said, hey, everybody should be able to buy any game or own any game and continue to play it, that seems like a great North Star for us as an industry. On Monday, November 15th, Xbox added over 70 new backward-compatible games to its library. That means that numerous games from the original Xbox console, Mr. Mumm actually worked on the Xbox original console, as well as the Xbox 360 are once again available to play on Xbox Series XS and Xbox One platforms.
But you still have to pay for them.
If
you get their
So if you have an older game,
service.
So if you get a subscription service, then you get it for free. Mm-hmm. But if you have an older game and you actually put it in and they have the ROMs for it, they let you. So I have older Xbox. I have tons of Xbox.
I just found some in my garage today.
So if you put them in, go take them home, put them in your Xbox. And when you put them in the Xbox, it will actually download a newer version that can run on your system as long as that CD remains in the unit itself. So it's pretty cool. So now all of a sudden, GameStop and GameFly can reuse those older versions. Some of the games have been graphically enhanced too, so that the ROM will come on up, and even though you put in the CD and you have the older version, it will actually download locally to the hard drive a newer version with upgraded graphics, and then normally collaborate it so that it can actually work with the system and the controller in a different way than it originally was intended to give you the best experience. All right. On to story number 2, Star Wars: The Old Republic. Have you ever played that game?
Yep.
All right. Do you know that game has been out for over 10 years?
Yep.
So here's what's going on. The legacy of Sith will serve as a foundation for the next 10 years of the game series, making this a 20-plus year commitment to one video game platform. Earlier this week, BioWare showed off some brand new footage of the upcoming expansion for Star Wars: The Old Republic, titled Legacy of the Sith. There's plenty of information regarding new features, locations, abilities for players, and even returning to some older locations. Star Wars: The Old Republic is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game. It's probably now the third longest MMORPG game.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have what's the one that's been around forever?
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft,
and
right?
then there's EverQuest. Is that still?
So EverQuest got canceled.
Oh,
So they get canceled. I don't know what the other one is, but essentially these are games that you create a character, you play in the world. They release new software patches. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 different patches, and then normally the game disappears, and they release a brand new game. You have to go and spend $60, $70 to get the new game. You get all new characters and creation, and you start it.
I think they tried to do that with Star Wars Galaxies. Remember that?
They did. But what they're doing is they have a commitment for the Old Republic to be a game that they're expecting to be in existence for another 10-plus years. Now, this graphic enhancement is only for the PC, and what they've done is they've redone all the textures, redone all the video graphics to the newer, more advanced graphics that are available for this new version that comes out on December 20th. That's a big name. I love that date. There's a reason I love that date. December 20th.
Why? Because something happened in 2011?
Well, December 20th, that's my birthday. So so there you go.
Well, happy birthday in 2 weeks.
Yeah, there you go.
4 weeks.
Or however long it is. All right, so this is taking a 10-year-old game and doing a complete reboot with graphics and stories. This starts a year of celebration with a whole year of activities planned to spark controversy and conversation.
Where's that?
Controversy and conversation.
Conversation.
With,
I think
with
controversy
players.
doesn't. I don't think controversy is in there
Well, I'm
anyway.
sure that all these games have controversy, don't they? You got in there, somebody's spamming you and yelling at you, doing this, do this, go over there.
Yeah,
go
I
that.
don't think that's just idiots.
Oh, is it?
Griefers and
that happens all the time when we're playing Sea of Thieves, though, right?
every game has abusive
So
players.
there you go.
So.
Okay, all right, okay. There's the foundation for 10 years. Considered the holy grail of Star Wars games, BioWare created director Charles Boyd adds that he wants it to be a D&D type campaign with your past choices and experience affecting the future of the game.
Ooh.
When asked if Star Wars The Old Republic's welcome new or returning players, he would confidently said that both are welcome. You can either start with your existing character or a new character that will already have pre-designed information and backstory to them. All right. Star Wars Legacy of the Sith is set to launch on December 14th, 2021 for the PC. All right, we're going to end this segment. When our segment returns, we have, of course, Mike's mesmerizing moment brought to us by Story Coffee and Pick of the Day. This has been a great hour so far. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. We will see you after this break.
Hey, Mike,
What?
have you heard of elderberry?
Only in reference to a Monty Python movie.
Well, let me tell you, Elderberry Boost, again, that's elderberry-boost.com.
Elderberry Boost.
Yes, Mike, that's Elderberry Boost.
You can choose organic elderberry boost, that 8-ounce size. That's available on sale right now at $11.99. But you're listening here right now on TechTime Radio, so you need to go to elderberry, that's elderberry-boost.com and get some today.
Elderberry Boost.
Elderberry is an all-natural organic immune system booster and antiviral. Elderberry is known to actively fight against viruses, including colds and the flu. It also works as a natural remedy for allergies, cancer, digestion, heart disease, high cholesterol, headache, toothache, weight loss, and reduced inflammation.
It's a natural and healthy diuretic and has many antiviral properties. While it is famous for fighting the flu, it is effective for any illness.
Elderberry Boost was created to provide a quality organic elderberry to their customers. After searching years ago for a perfect elderberry syrup, none could be found, so they essentially created their own homemade recipe.
If you would like to get 15% off your first order of Elderberry Boost, just put in the discount code TechTime at checkout.
Again, that's elderberry-boost.com.
Elderberry Boost.
You go, hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever heard of Unidragon.com?
Have I ever heard of Unidragon.com?
Yes, Unidragon.com.
Why, yes, I have heard of Unidragon.com. That's the puzzle dude.
The puzzle dude, that's correct. He has tons of puzzles, and of course, he is the best and original wooden puzzles.
You have owls.
Guess what is the #1 best-selling puzzle?
The owl.
Do you think you had anything to do with that?
No, everybody loves owls.
Well, right now, you can get 40% off in stock if you go to unidragon.com/products/enchanting owl. You need to make sure you get yours today. Now, they also have 2 to 6 days for shipping. You can domestically ship within the United States. They have a great customer support if you ever have any questions regarding your puzzle, except for how to put it together. You can email them at care@unidragon.com. If you want to get 10% off, you can use our code DRAGONTECH. Again, that's Dragon, DRAGON, Tech, TECH, for a 10% off discounts. Now, if you want the original, go to unidragon.com. Beware of fakes. Only get your wooden puzzles at unidragon.com.
Get them all.
All right, well, welcome back to Tech Time. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. Mike, during the break, what did you think again about our whiskey?
Wow, I drank it all the last break, so it's already gone.
It's the Glenmorangie La Senta.
Yeah, you got it. Good.
I did, man. Okay, 38.99, 92 proof, or maybe
89 proof.
Maybe 89 proof.
We don't know.
Single malt. It's got a little bit of the orange chocolate balanced. I think that I enjoyed it so much that I said I wish we had another bottle, didn't I?
Yeah, you could have gotten a regular size bottle for this.
I did. So I got a whole sample kit for that. So I still got like 3 more whiskeys on my wines and more
really
order.
Good.
It was really good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna give it, but
okay, neither am I. All right. Well, you know what? Now it's time to move on to Mike's mesmerizing moment.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com.
All right, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's your question?
All right, so explain to me, why is it that companies end up ripping off other companies? It happens all the time. Explain the logic to our listening audience and myself. Why is it that we can't just create our own stuff when we're a big company, and why do we just rip off other companies? I'm not accusing Facebook of ripping off another company. I'm just asking if hypothetically this happened.
Well, the short answer is easy, right? So if I'm running a company and I'm spending a lot of money on research and development, and then somebody over here comes up with this thing that is awesome, that I love, and not only love but can see profit in it,
So why don't you buy the company?
Well, then I would have to pay money instead of ripping off that company.
See, I never got.
It's more. Of course, it's more complicated than that. Where as human beings, we mimic. We even have a saying: mimicry is the sincerest form of flattery, right?
Yeah.
Imitation is the sincerest form. So when we do these kind of things, as from a human standpoint, if you have a style that I really like, I start copying that style because I like it, but I also want to be associated with somebody who is. That's where we get the term trendsetters and all these other things, like these freaking Hollywood people who they dress up in these really bizarre clothes during the.
Is that why you buy a hat? Because you like my hat? Is that what you? Is that why you buy hats?
That's exactly why I don't have a hat like that.
Okay, all right.
So we see what these people are wearing, and we want to associate ourselves with that because we want to be like them. So we buy their clothes, or we affect whatever it is. The Jennifer Aniston hairstyle. Remember the Friends Jennifer Aniston thing?
Yeah, she was like a trendsetter.
Every time she got her hair changed on the show, it was a whole slew of people that. So we do this kind of stuff when it comes to business. If somebody comes up with that idea and you're trying to develop an idea, and
don't you want to develop your idea that'd be better than their idea?
You would. That would be the
rational,
honorable thing to do.
Okay,
but if they come up with the idea, and you see the profit margin in there, and particularly maybe the competitive advantage they may have on you.
Okay,
wouldn't it be easier if, let's say, if I'm Facebook,
and
I say that's cool, and because I'm Facebook, I'm huge and big and I can distribute it really fast. I've taken care of a lot of the back end problems that these little companies have.
We're gonna go steal that.
And I'm just gonna take that, and that's may not be what's going on, but That is a.
I guess
there's rationalizations all the way down the line.
So I guess it's flattery. That's what it is. All right.
I don't think it's flattery in this case.
No.
If that's what's going on, it's definitely not flattery. It's based on something else.
All right,
but as humans, there really is nothing new under the sun.
So that's true. That's
you
why you get a reboot of every movie.
Yeah, if you
right?
go to a movie, it's got elements of other movies, and they're rebooting things all the time. How many times is Batman being rebooted? It's like
all the time.
God, I'm so sick and tired of Batman.
Michael Keaton, man, that's like the original Batman dude, right? But then you have the guy that was
you got West. Adam West.
Adam West. That was that's right.
Yeah, he was
the TV series,
the
right?
TV series
That's
Batman.
Right.
And then you got Michael Keaton. Then there's so many Batmans now that you don't know. But so it's just sort of a common thing when it happens and when it plays out in business, it's more of a ethical quandary. But again, we'll find out what happens there with that.
All right. So I got a bonus little segment here before we do our pick of the day.
All right.
All right. So this is This Week in Technology. What came out in November 19th, 2007?
I don't know.
Amazon introduced their Kindle ebook reader. Where other companies had released an ebook reader in previous years with limited success, the Kindle's integration with Amazon's industry-leading book distribution system helped catapult the e-reader into the mainstream conscience. The Kindle sold out within 5 hours of its debut, November 19th, 2007. You know what? I think I was actually on that list to get that. My wife had an original Kindle.
You don't read books.
Well, I don't read books. I look at them for the pictures, right? No, but
I see.
You see, do you? No, I mean it was.
I'm reading the articles.
That's right. It was a big deal. I remember it came up with the WhisperNet. It's 2G. It's no longer WhisperNet. Does no longer exist. So now all of a sudden, if you want WhisperNet, you're toasted.
hosed.
But I remember that was a big deal. You could read, change the font sizes. It was a pretty big deal. Made Amazon very successful as it is growing even more today.
Yeah, I have a Kindle.
All right, so now let's move on to our pick of the day.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right, again, we have our Glen Morangi Lacenta, 12-year bottle from Scotland.
12-year Scotch. Single malt.
Single malt, rich orange chocolate balance. You going to give this a thumbs up?
I'm going to give this a thumbs up.
A thumbs up. I will give this also a very big thumbs up. It tasted very good. Now, you may have wondered why we have our Carpe stuff as a part of our video display here.
Yeah,
if you can't see us, go on to YouTube right now and watch us because you can see our Carpe sponsor. They're going to be coming on up the start of our second hour. And they are a huge now sponsor of course, TechTime Radio, which we're really excited about. All right, here we go. Let's talk about what we have available in our second hour. We're actually ahead of time, aren't we? Oh, look at that. David kept us on time.
Now,
all of a sudden he's doing the stretch it out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Before he was like, let's go.
He was giving us salutes earlier.
That's right. Now he's stretching it out just a little bit. Well, we're really going to be excited about what we have on the second hour is we have Nick Espinosa joining us to talk about security breaches, why hospital hacks are becoming a trend, and what you can do over the holiday break to protect yourself while shopping online and in person. We have Black Friday holiday tips. We're not going to go and read down the best steals and deals for you. But if you got that last steals and deals, that printer.
Isn't that what we're going to do next week?
Well, next week is the after we come on back next week. It'll be after Black Friday.
Oh, that's right.
But what we're going to do is we're going to give you tips on how to buy and what to avoid during the Black Friday because everything goes on sale. Everybody thinks everything is good. You know, this is dirt cheap. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy this. We're going to tell you on a technical level what the difference between a level 1 and a level 2 based component in your computer is. Very important.
Is it anything like USB ports?
No, it's not like USB ports, but it's actually about how the manufacturers make system boards.
Oh, okay.
So level 1, premier, top of the line, and we'll talk about that. Level 2, there's some issues that happens, which is why they offer it at such great discounts. Then, of course, we're going to have, our letters segment. We got some great spams. I had so much fun printing these out. you're going to see, I got literally like 20 of them. So we're going to have to pick in between the top of the hour which ones we want to talk about, because there's not enough of funny spams that are coming on out, because people are trying to break into your accounts right now because they know you are looking for Black Friday deals. And then, of course, we got This Week in Technology segment. Mr. Gourdet, it's been a great hour. We have another hour after the turn here. I think that we have great listeners. Again, if you want to be a part of the show, you can always call us, and Mr. Brown will get you on the show itself. Well, I am Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Gourdet here, David Brown. We'll see you at the end of this hour, and we'll see you in hour 2.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.
The views expressed on this program are those
Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, are you bored of TV? Like drugs but can't afford them? Or still paying alimony?
Maybe.
All right, read How to See a Man About a Dog, Collected Writing. It's surreal. It's strange. It's How to See a Man About a Dog. Get your dose of surreal prose and poetry with this dark comedy collection.
Ebook available on Kindle Unlimited. Print copies are available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
That's right. I'm going to go get my ebook on Kindle Unlimited today.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, Collected Writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Guess what? Our favorite sponsor's back.
Oh, it's the puzzle dude from Unidragon.
That's right, Unidragon. Yep, Unidragon.com. They have a brand new item. It's called the Playful Parrots. It's a 5-in-1 puzzle that comes on out that actually comes all the way up to the brand new size, which is the royal size. Now they're small, medium, king size, and royal size. So you can get 7 times bigger than the standard puzzle. What do you think about the Playful Parrots? Being a pirate adventurer that you are, Mike, what say you?
Oh, the owl's jealous.
The owl's jealous? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What's the owl saying about the parrots?
Oh, there's 5 of them and 1 of him.
That's right. That's what happens. You know what? When you're the original, sometimes you get replaced and upgraded. So if you want to get upgraded in your puzzles, now's the time to go to Unidragon.com. Again, that's Unidragon.com. Don't be fooled by other imitation puzzle makers. Only get your true puzzle from Unidragon.com. They're the best, and they're the world's leader in wooden puzzles. Tech Time listeners, use promo code DRAGONTECH. Again, that's DRAGONTECH for a 10% discount code. They're no longer 3 sizes, Mike. Guess how many there are now?
They're 4 sizes.
That's right. They're 4 sizes. Make sure to visit techtimeradio.com/sponsors and click on the Order Now button to go directly to Unidragon. Our #1 sponsor says thank you, and the owl is jealous. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Do you know the average person can sweat 463 pints per year?
Oh, that's gross. But I totally been there, wiping my sweaty palms on my pants before shaking hands.
I can remember standing in front of a group of people about to do a large presentation and looking down and seeing those sweaty pits. Man, that is the worst.
Did you know that deodorants do nothing for sweat control? It's like putting a scented candle in your pits. And we just don't sweat under the arms.
That's right. We don't. We sweat all over. Yeah, that's what's cool about Carpe. They have not only created a revolutionary underarm antiperspirant, a lotion loaded with sweat control, Carpe also has a full line of sweat care for everywhere.
Founded by 2 guys who had sweaty palms their whole lives, Carpe was created with dermatologists and people actually diagnosed as excessive sweaters. So you know it works. Whether you want to avoid a sweaty brow, underarm stain, smelly feet, below the belt sweat, Carpe has a solution.
They sure do. And they have a full no question asked money back guarantee for the first 60 days. Not 30 days, but 60 days. Find their full line at mycarpe.com.
That's mycarpe.com, mycarpe.com. And for a limited time, use the code TechTime to save 15% on your first order. From now on, we will only sweat in the gym.
Life can get sweaty, but Carpe keeps you dry. Visit them at mycarpe.com.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest. Keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side. With leading edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology news of the week, the show for the everyday common person with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. I'm Nathan Mumm, and welcome to our show as we live stream in studio Saturdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And of course, from our home radio station, KKNW, 1150 a.m. If you're not listening or watching our show on Saturday afternoon, then you're catching a rebroadcast. So make sure to visit www.techtimeradio.com to keep up on all the latest information. So just to make sure that we understand that means if you're listening to us on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, not 4 to 6 p.m., and on Sunday, then you're catching a rebroadcast.
Boy, I missed that last week.
Yeah, I know. Didn't you miss that? We didn't do that the first hour, so we got a little bit. This is the second hour, a little bit more, what do you want to say, loosey-goosey, a little bit more fun, a little bit more
Tech
relaxed.
Time Plus.
That's right.
That's right. Tech Time Plus.
Tech Time Plus. This is, of course, for all the people that are paying the additional $9 a month to continue our show. That's right. Of course, Tech Time is a weekly 2-hour technology show. You're catching the second hour, so if you'd like to go back and you didn't catch the first hour, absolutely make sure you visit techtimeradio.com to, of course, get the information that you missed. Our first hour was great, so you're going to want to check that out. We talked about some NASA stuff, some Russian missiles, and, of course, our favorite company.
Our buddy Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Facebook and Metaverse, so make sure you check that out. We are a 2-hour technology show that gives you technology in a simple format without having to geek out in many different perspectives and highlighted information. If you'd like to join us and engage us, you can go to Twitch TV/Tech Time today as our interactive stream is up. You can send us a chat by going to Twitter at #TechTime, or you can call us on the phone at 425-373-5527 or 188-298-KKNW. That's 188-298-5569 and be a part of the show. As we do each of our shows, now it's time to officially start the show.
Now on today's show.
I feel like we need to be eating a turkey leg or something when that comes on.
Do you? A turkey leg? Like a royal
Yeah. You remember that place, Medieval Times?
I do. I will. Oh, I love Medieval Times. You know what? Just a year ago, I was there with my 25-year-old, so he's like 24 then, 24-year-old son, my underage drinking son at the time, 20 years old, and my wife. And we all went to Medieval Times. And it's a kid's show, right?
It's awesome.
So we were literally there. We had a little bit of alcohol in us, me and the oldest son. And we were just laughing and having...
Pre-funk yourself?
Yeah, we did. We did pre-funk a little bit. So then we get there and we had a great time. It was probably one of the best times I've had, just kind of making fun of the funny little skits that they do and the jousting and the overemphasized story plot that they try to create in an hour and a half dinner show. But it was a great time. And you eat with your hands. That was really cool too, right? You get some potatoes, some chicken, and so you
trencher.
Yeah, so you're saying that this sound reminds you of that horn when they start.
That's right.
The deal?
When you do the horn, I feel like I need to have a turkey leg.
All right. Well, on today's show, we have Nick Espinosa joining us to talk about our security breaches, why are hospitals being hacked, and he's going to provide us a few tips to help us during the holiday break to make sure that we do not get compromised and protect us when we shop online and in person. Then we have our Black Friday holiday tips for what to buy and what to avoid. Now, this is not a list of here's the top 10 or 15 things. This is actual strategies of what you should buy during Black Friday and what you shouldn't buy during Black Friday. So let me ask you a question now. Do you think you should buy a television during Black Friday sales?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, well, we're going to tell you about that a little bit later. We'll give you the answer. Is it a good idea to buy a Black Friday TV deal or not? All right, and then, of course, we always start out with our episode with letters. Nothing's better than this time of the year because everybody is sending out crazy spam emails regarding Black Friday deals, fake Black Friday deals, and, of course, all the other items that they want to get you to click on links and cause you damage. And we call that, of course, our letters segment. And then finally, we have This Week in Technology, a great little segment. You love that new music that with our violin there for the old time deal.
Oh, yeah,
so
that
we're going to
really
be ready
makes
to
me
go with
happy.
that. All right. Now, where can you get all your information? Of course, you can get it at techtimeradio.com. You can watch the streams, sign up for our newsletter, listen, and, of course, watch archives. And you can find all the videos from Mr. Espinosa that has been on our show. You just go and click on his face. He's got 1.5 gazillion links, and you can watch all of his old information and new information regarding technology items for security. And again, of course, you can always call us 425-373-5527 and 188-298-KKNW to be a part of the show. Now, David, the most important part is we're going to start with our loaded question of the day brought to you by Elderberry Boost. Get your Elderberry Boost today at elderberry-boost.com. And we have a question for the panel, all three of us, a quick question of what is the strange food to serve at your Thanksgiving celebration?
I think David should answer this one first.
You want David to go first? David, you're up first.
Actually, I just thought of one. I know I said one off the air, but how about throwing this one in? Because
okay,
how about some calamari?
Calamari. Well, what did you say off the air? Because we talked about this off the air, too. What did you say?
I said squid off the
Squid.
air.
Squid.
That's what calamari is.
That's not quite the same as calamari. The squid would be odd. I think squid is by far. Calamari, rich people probably would actually have it. Is calamari squid?
Yeah, calamari squid.
When I ate, I thought it was onion rings, but of course I was a kid.
That's because they fry it.
Oh, that's because they fry it.
I know, because my parents are never going to let me
squid.
down, ever. Never let that down, ever.
Ever. It's fried squid. There you go. All right. What is yours?
I was going to say fish, but I'm gonna move it over to. It would be kind of weird to have Italian food on.
Really?
Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So
I think it would be weirder than
here,
that.
let me carve the lasagna.
It's going to be worse than that? Chinese food. Because that's like a Christmas.
That's on the Christmas story.
Yeah, I know. That's like a Christmas deal. So if instead of having your Christmas deal, because all the restaurants shut down, that's why people go and have Chinese food, because Chinese were normally restaurants open during Christmas.
Let's not walk down that path.
Okay, but wouldn't Chinese food be really odd? Do you know what my son wanted to do?
You know what?
I wanted to do crab.
See, that's awesome.
That's what I thought too. So that wasn't as weird as I thought.
You know what I used to do for Thanksgiving when I was younger? I always wanted a big greasy cheeseburger.
Oh, okay.
So I would always go to one of the local places that was open.
Yeah.
And have my Thanksgiving dinner.
So your AM PM, you're shoving your AM PM hamburger back in there?
No, I'd go a regular fast food joint, not an AM PM.
All right, AM PMs sometimes save the holidays for many people. All right, now let's get our episode started with informative emails that I've received during the week. This includes scam, phishing emails, and all-out mistruths disguised as legitimate emails in a segment we call Letters.
Letters, we get letters. We get back and back of letters. Ah, letters, we get letters. And the letters all have songs.
All right, our letter segment. I'm going to start out first. I received an email from iPhone 14.5 at something plastic surgery.com with a bunch of numbers at the end of it.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. You have won a brand new iPhone 14.
Hey, they're behind the curve on that one.
They're a little bit ahead.
They're a little slow.
So the iPhone 13 just released, but so far, I guess that I have won an iPhone 14. So I got the prototype version. If I click here right now to get something that doesn't even officially exist, I was so tempted to see, wow, how could they have the iPhone 14?
You didn't click on the link?
That I did not click on the link, and I just said that made my day. All right, you're up next.
Well, I like this one, which is from James Sandy 14 VQ blah blah GoogleGroups.com on behalf of
somebody.
On behalf of capital A dot little M dot little A dot little Z capital 0 dot N and then like some little emoji.
Okay, all right.
From tracking number from Amazon.
From Amazon. Oh no.
Dear user. Unfortunately, we were not able to deliver your postal package in time because your address is not correct.
All right, address isn't correct.
Please reply us, not to us. Reply us.
Please reply us
with the correct shipping address here.
Okay.
Did you?
I actually did click on it because I have my address is a little bit.
Yeah,
unique,
you're
right?
hard to find.
It is because
Google Maps has no clue where you live.
So we were a part of unincorporated Snohomish County. Then all of a sudden we became a part of the town of Snohomish.
Yep.
Right? And what happens is our neighbors that are actually closer to the town of Snohomish are still on unincorporated, but we're in it. So
I know. We were talking about that the other day where
trying out our suits.
Yeah. Where do we ship your tux to?
Yeah.
And you were saying that it was the northeast part.
Yep. The northeast part doesn't exist, but it sometimes exists.
So it's on there sometimes, and it's not.
So I told him, don't put the northeast on there, and he's like, yeah, I can't ship it to you.
It doesn't work.
So I said, okay, put the northeast on it. It's not even there, but I did receive my tux at home, so it did count there.
Yeah,
so.
I got mine too.
Oh, did you? Did you put it on?
No, not yet.
Okay, I put mine on already, and so I got to get a little bit of a larger jacket. All right, here's my next one. From James Sandy 41 VTQ-H2- blah blah blah.
Hey, that's the same guy.
Is it the same guy, James? Sandy 41?
Yeah.
Is it the same?
VQUT?
VQUT dash
dash 2-1810?
That is correct. At googlegroups.com.
Boy,
Yeah.
James
What a
is-
coincidence.
Where's he writing from?
Oh, so he's telling me this message is from a trusted source. Did you get that at the top of yours?
No.
Oh, well, mine did. So I was like, wow, it's the Anti-Spam Association. Is males becoming impossibles? Is males becoming impossibles?
Are you sure you're reading that
That's
correctly?
I am.
'Cause
To
you
get work done.
for you, didn't it?
That's right. When you constantly bombarded with garbage,
All our base belong to us.
you give us chance to no longer respawn here. Join the clause. Join the cause. Click here.
I think James had a stroke between that email and this one.
So it was Anti-Spam Association at Gulf Street, Round Lake, Illinois. I just want to go visit that. I'm sure that was it. Exists. All right.
That's really
You're up
awesome.
next.
All right. Do we have time for two or what?
I
Because I got this one here.
Yeah, I think you got. Try to do two quick or one longer
I'm
one.
going to do the long one, which is really funny.
Is that the one with the name that's a different name? It's not even my name?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
It's
yeah, do that one.
it's
That's funny.
from Carol at verzx.com. Paid research interview for video game technology and solutions. Hello, somebody in Chinese characters.
No, they can't even get my name right.
And
so their
and the
script
font,
is wrong.
And the font is like dot matrix.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really it's actually like really
Poorly.
Is that Arial?
No, it's not
No,
Arial.
no.
It was whatever their proprietary font was for that.
That it's really bad.
It is very bad. It's like the worst font you could choose to
It's
send
almost
like a terminal font is what it looks like.
Yeah, and it's almost like Comic Sans.
Okay. You don't like Comic Sans?
Haven't you heard about the
yes, there's a lot of
controversy?
Yes, a lot of
Comic
people
Sans?
hate it. Yes.
Our client would like to speak with IT leaders in the video game industry on the virtual desktop infrastructure, or VDI, and desktop as a service, or DAAS market. They are seeking to understand how companies are currently using VDI or DAS solutions. Is that DAS or DOS?
I don't know.
And identify reasons for not utilizing them for non-users. An incentive of $150 via gift card, PayPal, or similar will be paid to each participant for a 30-minute web interview. Referrals are highly appreciated. If open to participating, please provide a brief answer to the screener below. Please provide a brief description of your current role at your company. Can you describe your organization in a little more detail? To what extent does your organization implement remote hybrid working?
Okay, so I'm getting bored now. I'm getting bored now.
Are you bored?
I'm bored now. Yes. So essentially, it's like 3 pages.
Yeah, it's huge.
And then they want you to click on the link at the very end.
Did you click on the link?
I did click on the link.
What happened?
And it said, I want a brand new iPhone 13. And not a 14, but a 13.
I
and
would.
it was flashing all over
I think
everywhere.
I would go with the 14.
So, but they wanted me to do a survey, so I don't know why they were going to let me win an iPhone 13. But I got so excited that I decided to put in my email address and my social security number that they asked for, so I could win that, so I can make sure that I have a chance to win.
Yeah, I'm sure you did that. So everybody knows you don't do what Nathan does.
You don't click on these
Don't
links.
click on the links, because this other than the name
Crazy
being
font
messed up
and the name being bad.
This is actually looks very legitimate.
It does.
I think maybe
It's
they're
even
trying,
look at the back. It even has a disclaimer.
Yeah, I think they're trying to bore you into doing it, like I just did.
Is that maybe a new tactic that you just make it so bad that you're going to click on it to get through it?
Well, you know,
what's the psychology
it's
in that?
It's so long that people are just going to start skimming it.
Okay.
Right? So when you skim things, you can lose context and everything like that. So I think if you, I don't know that anybody planned this out, but if you kind of look at it through that lens, you can see why people might be encouraged to click the link like you did.
Well, so let me end you real quickly.
iPad Prod.
The
13,
iPhone 13. Yes.
Whatever.
All right. So this is, of course, may the peace and love of Allah, God, be with you. Help a refugee widow. My name is blah, 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 blah. Please send me a sum of $4,000 to help litigate against the $10.5 million my late husband deposited into a foreign bank account.
That's not the Prince of Nairobi?
No,
or
it's
whatever?
not. They changed it. Please write me so that I can give you more details about myself and the money. Don't respond to anything. Anybody that says you have to pay money to receive money and wants you to send it to them, please understand there's nobody out there that has $10.5 million by a late husband and doesn't have at least 16 lawyers that will take care of it for them. If there's that much money available, you aren't going to have to worry that they're going to randomly reach out to you to help them get that money.
Yeah, here's the thing. You remember late night infomercials?
I do. I sometimes watch them.
They still play them, right?
I do. QVC. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, you know why they keep playing them?
Yeah.
Because I think the first thing I think is, why are these stupid people on here doing this?
Oh, there still are.
That's because people fall for it.
They do.
It's the same thing with that thing.
I saw it was the last QVC thing. It was like something for $19, and it was like you have 7 payments of $1.62. What the heck?
Really?
If I can't pay the $19,
that's some
why
serious
am I doing
financing there.
Why am I doing 7 payments of $1, almost $2 a pop?
That's the same thing with that email.
That's right.
It's the same email. It's just recycled, and people still fall for it.
All right. Well, you know what? You can always be a caller on our show. And if you have an idea, make sure you visit our website and go and click on the very top to be a caller and provide us feedback on segments. We've had people submit information on scams that have happened to them. And if you have a great scam, we would love to send it to us. Send it to press@techtimeradio.com. And Melinda will forward it to us, and we can read it on the air. Well, when we return...
Don't get me started about my email. I hate my email.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
forgot
right.
about that.
Okay, up next we have Protect Yourself Today, where we explore what's going on in the world of cyber breaches, technology scams, and the use of technology for criminal purposes. With our guest, Nick Espinosa, the CIO of Security Fanatics. You're listening to the show that makes you go, We're going to be right back after these commercials.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you heard of Dice Throne?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I hear it's pretty cool.
It's Yahtzee meets Magic: The Gathering. Dice Throne can be played as a 1-versus-1 dueling game.
Dice Throne has a great announcement that they have coming to Kickstarter regarding a game that is based on Marvel characters.
The Marvel Dice Throne is a fast and fun board game for all ages. Each player selects 1 to 8 heroes to face off in a head-to-head battle to see who earns the right to take the throne. Now, who would be your hero that you'd want to be?
Black Panther.
You like Black Panther?
That's right.
Mine is Loki, because Loki never stabs anybody in the back.
Not ever.
All right, well, the gameplay involves strategically rolling dice to activate special abilities, playing unique hero cards to manipulate results, and upgrading your hero board to power up your stats. This is currently being crowdfunded on Kickstarter. Go there now and reserve your copy.
Tech Time listeners, you're in luck as we have a direct link to get you access to the Kickstarter for the Marvel Dice Throne game. That's correct. If you go to tinyurl.com/TechTime Dice Throne, again, that's tinyurl.com/TechTime Dice Throne, or you can just click on our sponsor page at TechTimeRadio.com to get the direct link there to sign up for the Kickstarter. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity. Mike, have you backed the Kickstarter campaign yet?
I did it yesterday.
All right, I'm going to do it tonight.
Make sure to use the tinyurl.com/TechTime Dice Throne, or to make it simple, go to TechTimeRadio.com and click on our sponsor link.
All right. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Renee here and David Brown in the studio behind the board, keeping us straight. And of course, we're getting ready to have our security expert, Nick Espinosa, join us on the show. Let's get ready to start our next segment.
Protect yourself today.
All right. We're always happy to have our security expert, Nick Espinosa, back on the show. And we have a few things that we are going to talk about today. Nick, thank you so much for joining us.
As always, I'm very happy to be here. Hey, guys.
We got a little bit of an echo here. Hang on. You got that taken care of, David?
All good?
David's running it back here. Hang on just a second.
All right.
He told us to talk. Okay, so
there we go.
We're going to talk. Well, welcome back, David. So there we go. Okay, we're going to be talking about a couple things when it comes on up.
The stapler almost hit you in the head.
The stapler did almost hit me in the head. We wanted to make sure that the audio is correct, because if we have double audio, that doesn't sound good on the radio station.
I don't know if it's just us hearing it or everybody hearing it. That would be.
I think it'd probably be everybody, because I think we're hearing the streams that come on out, or at least the broadcast
either
across
that or
the radio.
Either that or the whiskey from last hour just kicked in.
Is that what it was?
Maybe.
Yeah. So how do you celebrate Thanksgiving? No, just okay. So let's see. Mr. Brown, are you ready? Or are we going to go on to the next area? He says
how
he
am I
thinks
now?
we're ready to go.
All good?
All right. I think we are good.
Yeah, you can hear me?
No.
We can hear you. Can you hear us, Nick?
Yes, yeah. All good.
Okay. All right. What's David saying? David's saying turn off the speaker. Do you have your speaker on?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be picking up like this, but I can. If I turn my speakers off, I can't hear you.
that'd be kind of tough. Do you want to
know sign language? Because I don't. So, but no, my speaker's on very low, so it shouldn't be affecting anything.
Okay. Well,
something is giving us a feedback echo.
It's the same setup I've used every time. I don't know. Better?
Okay. You know what? We're going to ask you a question. First off, tell us about the security breaches that are going on with hospitals.
Should I? Okay. All right. So, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
we hear you just fine.
Okay. So personally, I blame the Anti-Spam Association in Round Lake Beach, Illinois, for this mess. I'm just saying that right now, right out of the gate. So, speaking of which, that's like 30 minutes from my house. By the way, I should go say hi. Anyway, yeah, I mean, we have a huge problem with hospitals and medical facilities right now, just being hit. In fact, if you didn't know, interestingly enough, and unfortunately, about a month and a half ago or so, we actually have our first, what we believe, confirmed fatality due to a hospital going down because of a ransomware attack. And I think that's really an interesting place to start this here, because a lawsuit that was recently filed is alleging that a 2019 ransomware attack on Mobile, Alabama's Spring Hill Medical Center actually resulted in the death of a baby. Now, essentially what happened was the facility was hit due to a ransomware attack. Patient records, etc., were essentially inaccessible, and this baby was delivered right in the middle of this ransomware attack as they were trying to essentially unscrew the hospital from this attack. And at birth, the baby suffered severe brain damage because its umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck, and they couldn't use essentially the equipment, to help her. She died 9 months later of this. And so this lawsuit is alleging that because of the ransomware attack, the hospital inadequately was able to provide care. And so that is essentially, I think, the backdrop for what has been a huge problem for years at this point, but is continuing to escalate. And when we're talking about this, as you know, I do like a Breaches of the Week video every Sunday, like a video and a podcast. And so I went back through my notes for about the last month or so, and I've done like a zillion different breaches in the last month, but 18 of those were actually medical facilities. And so this is just a beyond, serious issue. The one I know that you were mentioning earlier, Nathan, was the Southern Ohio Medical Center. They had an apparent ransomware attack, but they haven't confirmed. But, when I was pulling these breaches, and I just compiled a few. I mean, Utah Imaging Associates for 583,000 patients due to ransomware, a nonprofit in California getting hit for over 650,000 patient records, and on and on and on. This is a huge problem that we have. There are no honor among thieves. And what was interesting is, in the middle of the pandemic, or I should say near the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of ransomware gangs came out and said, well, we're not going to hit medical facilities because it's critical infrastructure in the middle of a pandemic, so there's going to be some honor among thieves. But the entire supply chain for the hospital systems were wide open for attack. So, what about the trucking company that moves the ventilators? They get hit. What about the manufacturer of the ventilators or the PPE? They can get hit because they're not a hospital. And so we have to understand that as we are looking at securing our medical facilities, there's a massive amount of supply chain that a hospital requires, everything from garments, that the nurses and the doctors have to wear, to medical equipment, to tongue depressors, to syringes, not to mention medical waste that needs to be hauled away so it doesn't pile up. I mean, this is a huge, huge problem here. And on top of this, we also have a changing face of what we're understanding is actually medical, meaning it's going above and beyond just the hospitals and our local doctor. We're now looking at health tech becoming part of that medical umbrella that really needs security. So it is just a mess out there right now, and we are seeing hospitals get hit with a good amount of frequency.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, that's better.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you the next question. We got the holidays coming on up, right? What is something that we need to make sure that we just talked about our letter segment, right? And we just had everybody's funny letters that they send to us trying to scam us. This is one of the busiest times when you have a holiday break because people can send out spam emails. They're reading for Black Friday events that are happening.
Right.
What are 1 to 2 or maybe even 3? Let's do 3. 3 items that we should be on the lookout for and can help us during these Black Friday frenzies of emails that we're going to receive in our email inbox.
Right. Well, I mean, first things first is, have a very skeptical eye at anything that you're getting. If you're getting something from Best Buy or Walmart or, take your massive retailer out there that says, oh, Black Friday sale, 8,000% off everything. That includes Amazon as well, and online. If they're actually running that sale, don't click on any links in the email. Just go to the website, go to Amazon.com, Best Buy, Walmart, wherever that is, and make sure that that's actually legitimate. There are so many scams that get run in the holiday season because everybody's buying stuff for their loved ones for whatever they celebrate. And so that is really important. It kind of dovetails with the entire standard for education that everybody really needs to achieve. I mean, we have herd immunity, or we're trying to get herd immunity in the pandemic. We need herd immunity in cybersecurity in terms of education. The more you know, the less susceptible you are to getting hit, which means if you're less susceptible to getting hit and compromised, then everybody in your address book, everybody in your friend list is less susceptible to getting compromised as well, because now suddenly you are not phishing them, or rather a hacker that looks like you is not phishing them through your account. So that, I think, is probably my first tip here, is look at this at a skeptical eye. And everybody's looking for that, like 80% off that flat screen TV or whatever that is. And so if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Go to the website yourself, type it in the same way that if you got an email from your bank saying you need to change your password, go to your bank's website. Don't actually click links. My mother sends me emails. I don't click the links. I don't open the attachments without vetting them first. It's very important because anybody can get compromised if you don't have good security controls in your life. So that, I think, is super, super important. Also, on top of that, what you can get is actually a web filter for your computer or your device. It's an agent that sits there and will actually essentially look at the websites that you're trying to get to and check them for threat. So in other words, let's say you're going to that fake website, the web filter identifies, hey, wait a second, this isn't actually like Walmart or whatever, this is malicious. Now it will block you from going there. And if you can't get there, you can't give away your information. If you can't get there, you can't get infected. So those are just like 1 or 2 quick things on top of many other things you need to do in your life, especially if we're looking directly at those emails that we're all going to get, in the next couple of weeks for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Voodoo Day, whatever you celebrate.
So what is the best web filter to load on your machine? I've seen a bunch of spam web filters. Some of these are fakes where they'll actually come on up and take over your browser or your search page, so you can do that. What would be a very good web browser that you could find online, whether it's free or not free, to load on your PC right now?
Yeah, well, so a couple of these that are pretty well-known players, and I'll stick to the bigger ones, is Quad9. Quad9 is a player. They are very good at threat detection. They ingest block lists and indicators of compromise from a lot of different places. So they're a major player in this space. Cisco Umbrella has been a major player. I know they've got some fairly inexpensive options too. It's like $40-$50 a year or something like that, for a web filter. And to your point, yeah, I mean, if it's free to you, odds are you're the product, so anybody can use the free settings if you're technical, if you're technical savvy enough, tech savvy enough, to edit your own DNS, you can pop in like Quad9's DNS address. But I'm not expecting most people to know how to do that, and the agents basically take care of that. And then you can set controls as well. So if you have, let's say, kids in the house and you don't want them going to sites they shouldn't be going to as kids, oftentimes you can set these controls and policies in the web browsers, or the filter, so that it just will not allow them to get where they want to go or where they shouldn't be going in that sense. So I would look at those two. Also, Safe Browsing is another one, or Safe Internet Browsing has really good reviews as well, especially it's more family friendly and all of that. But Quad9 and Cisco Umbrella tend to be the 2 big players right now in that space.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Nick. Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay, perfect. I wasn't hearing myself, so I'm sorry. Nick, thank you so much. Now, I know web filters are big hits. I used to have one when my sons were growing on up, and we used to block Barney and a bunch of other stuff that my kid, my oldest, would go to. He just loved Barney itself. But, Nick, if you could tell us information about where we can learn more about you, let us know. Where do we find you out? I can find you on Twitter, but where else can we find more information about you?
Yeah, so Twitter at Nick AESP, LinkedIn / Nick Espinosa. That's pretty much my entire business bio right there. Feel free to connect to me. Facebook is / Nick Espinosa as well. YouTube / Nick Espinosa. So I do daily videos and podcasts and all that. And, I'd love to hang out. Please connect.
That's right. His Twitter is the best. If you go to Nick, I love your Twitter. I'll just tell you, I look forward to your little jokes and he puts these little. He's the only person that I understand his memes for. So my wife shows me memes all over. I don't get any of them, but when Nick's little stuff out there, I get it all the time. So
yeah,
I do.
Is that because of your nerd quotient?
You know what? I don't. Nick's memes are much better. That's what I'd say. All right, thank you very much, Nick, for being a part of the show. We'll see you next week or the week after because we love having Nick be a part of our show. Now, when we go on our commercial break, I want you to go grab a pen and pencil to take notes because the next segment we're going to be coming on, we're going to be talking about Black Friday technology hints, not products, but I'm going to tell you information and not deals. I'm going to tell you information about Black Friday shopping that if you take notes on specifically for technology items, you will be safe during the Black Friday sales of not getting crap that will not be usable for you a month or two later after the time. So you actually want to be ready to listen and take notes for that. Of course, I am Nathan Mumm. We got Microday here, David Brown behind the board, and we're going to see you after our commercial break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock. All
right, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. We've gone through over 90 minutes of technology, and we have just about 20 minutes left. Now, we're really excited to get our next segment. I guarantee you, Mr. Gourdet, you're going to learn something that you never knew about in this segment.
Truly?
I absolutely.
Promise?
I promise. If you do not, then I will buy you an additional meal out this week. If you don't learn something new, I guarantee you that. Or maybe I'll give you a little bit of that whiskey that we had, an extra bottle of that.
Yeah,
right?
if you have an extra bottle of that.
Okay, so we're going to now get ready to start our next segment now.
Let's look at the top holiday deals for the season with the Tech Time wish list.
What the heck?
that's our technology wish list. So these are now. Well, hey, we had the audio guy come back in, and we did a bunch of things.
Was he playing his guitar, or was that some sound bites?
That was some sound bites on top of his.
He plays.
He does play guitar, right?
Yeah.
So our guy is very musically talented that does our voiceovers, and so no, this was just him talking, and I had some stuff that was going there. All right, but let's talk about Black Friday tech deals, tips to avoid items and to buy items. The holidays are coming, and that means you're probably hoping to score a deal on the hottest gadgets, either for gifts to the loved ones or, let's face it, for yourself. But contrary to what some retailers and manufacturers may think, you should avoid buying certain technology items during the Black Friday sales. What's more, waiting until Black Friday deals are over can actually be an advantage when it comes to shopping for the hottest items.
Mm-hmm.
Stay ahead of the market. Items will surely run out this year with supply chain issues on technology and chip shortages. We've talked about these throughout the whole year itself. So there are limitations to the electronics and the chip manufacturers worldwide.
Yep.
We have problems with shipping containers bringing in new products.
Yep.
We have problems with actual inventory controls. And so if you are looking to get some of these great electronics, do not wait. If you see something that you want, and we're going to talk specifically maybe about like a new console. Let's say you want a brand new video game. You want the PlayStation 5. Do you realize the PlayStation 5 released last year, and it's still very difficult to get today? The same with the Xbox Series X. I have one at home.
It's still hard to get?
It's still very hard to get. And the reason it's hard to get is because there's manufacturers with the chips that are inside that they are not able to mass produce and be able to flood the market. So if you see...
Are you sure that's the only reason why?
Well, it's also because scalpers buy them all the time, and we'll talk a little bit about that in our deal here.
Yeah, and then they artificially...
raise the prices.
They artificially keep the demand high by shorting.
They do that. Is
supply.
Some strategies also, but what happens is normally after a year a console's been out, specifically, then you want to flood the market, right? Nintendo's really good with that. You're kind of scarce at first, and everybody talks about it. Everybody wants to get in, pay premiums, but after a year you should have it. But not this year because chip shortages are happening. All across the area. You need to make sure you stay ahead of the market. You need to make sure you go in and actually physically visit stores. Because, stores, instead of always posting things online, they'll have a console here. They'll have some electronics sitting on the shelf in the store itself and not actually advertising online. Most companies, large box stores, let's take Walmart, Target, any of these, they have normally two distribution center lines. One is the online marketplace that they have with all the online electronics and items that are available. And then they have the physical store product line that comes in a different channel. So what happens is when a product comes on in, it's being split into two. Half of it's being normally put online, and the other half is normally going to the stores itself. So if you want to get electronic deals, you go and buy them now. You don't buy them on Black Friday. You don't buy them after Black Friday deals. You go out and buy them the week ahead of time so you can make sure you have them already taken care of.
What if I want the awesome deal?
Let's talk about that. TVs. Okay. Oh, TVs are on sale, right? Let's talk about this. TVs are always on sales. They're always discounted. Should I buy a Black Friday deal? Absolutely not. That is the worst time to buy a television.
Why?
And we're going to talk about that because the best time is right before the Super Bowl in February of the following year, because there's this big show that comes out in January called this Consumer Electronic Show, CES. We always cover them here as a technology company, and each one of the providers provide brand new items in that electronic show. So what happens is they'll come out with their brand new televisions, and all of those old televisions, after their announcements of what's available, are going on sale. The time to buy a television is not on Black Friday, not to Christmas. Wait till the beginning of the year. Save that hard-earned cash and buy them in February. That first week of February, there's only 28 days in the month. Sales are tough, and that's when video only and all these places are going crazy deals and giving you new stuff.
You're totally scratching the grain of the social structure, man.
Why is that?
Because.
Okay, you haven't learned. I don't know if you've learned anything yet, but you're going to learn it next. All right, let's talk about computers. All right, super cheap computers are a waste, and we're going to talk about most of the computers you're going to see on sale during Black Friday are what they call a Line 2 computer processing board inside of that. So let's talk about that.
Do they advertise that as a
Line 2? No, this is something that you learn as a Technology Insider Note and as a part of being on TechTime Radio. Normally, most computer companies have 3 lines of electronics. So they'll have the consumer line, which is normally a Line 2. They'll have the discount line, which is sometimes the Line 3. And then they have the business and the high-end line, which is which is Line 1. Now let's talk about electronics. When electronics come off the floor and to be put into computers, a Line 1 circuitry board means that it comes perfect with no flaws and it was tested out and works with no issues. Those get put normally into the business machines. You don't have to worry about it. If your circuit board comes off the line and it has an issue, it goes back. And what happens is they may take a little shortcut and they may do a rethread of a lead from one side to the other. They may put additional circuitry boards on it. They may manually touch up the circuit board itself. And what happens is that means that it's not working completely off of line 1, and they've made authorizations to it, and that becomes a consumer product as a line 2. It still gets tested and says that it works, but the chances of that failing on a line 2 are much greater than a line 1 product that comes on out nearly perfect without any issues.
Really?
Yes. Now we go to line 3. Line 3 is the discounts. If you want to buy the cheap TVs sometimes, if you want to buy the cheap computers, line 3 electronics means that they have gone through the first line and they failed. They went through the second line and they still had problems, and they had to add either additional circuitry, additional boards, or new software or new firmware or something to alter the original condition of that manufactured board to make it work. And that becomes your Black Friday specials. Guaranteed to last 6 to 8 months until that lead goes off or until something goes wrong in the firmware or that additional chipset that they had to resolder back on no longer works.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Now, did you know that
to bust your Black Friday bubbles?
That's right. So don't be buying those cheap machines on Black Friday deal because they are level 2 guaranteed.
That's why we
sometimes
drink whiskey
level
on the
3.
show.
That's right. Well, I don't know that that's why we do it. If you're buying a PC, do not buy anything less than an Intel i5 and 8 gigabytes of RAM if you want it to work on the standard operating system programs that are available.
So how do I tell if it's a line 1, line 2, or line 3
you don't.
processor?
See, you don't. No one advertises that. So that is
a
known technology secret. That's why you buy business product, because everybody on the business side of Dell, business side of Asus, business side of the deal want their business computers to be the best that they can, so they always use line 1 products.
So if I want a new computer, then I should go buy a business computer.
Yes, absolutely. If you have the opportunity between a business and a consumer-based product, you should always buy, and it's normally another $200 more.
What about gaming computers?
Well, gaming computers are very interesting because if you buy, let's say, an Alienware, or if you buy, again, Asus makes a gaming computer itself, be very careful because sometimes in the description of it, they'll say L1 or L2. So if you look at the description of it, depending on the manufacturer, if it says it's an L2, it's not level 2 cache. Normally that means it comes out on the line 2 production line. So you know that had some problems. So that's what I'm
talking about. There's a little designation there in the description.
Normally a little star.
All those other little.
And it'll just be an L, and it'll say L1 or L2.
Okay.
That's the line that it comes in on.
All right.
There you go. You did not know that, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did. Did you know you did? I was gonna say, I haven't talked about that yet.
I want a bottle of this liquor, so I'm going to lie.
Okay, all right. now, let me tell you. Last thing you want to do is be very careful for eBay. eBay is the scammers' Ponzi schemes of scamming during the holidays.
Are you sure you got that all?
The Ponzi scheme of
you got it. You got it conglomerated pretty good there.
I did. So let me just tell you, if they say that they are selling an Xbox PS5 box, right? Read the description and understand what you're getting, because sometimes people will post a box of a PS5 and they'll put it up there for a retail price.
And they have a PS4 in it?
No. It's just a box.
It's just a box.
It's just a box. It happens all the time during the holidays. People will say box of Halo this, box of this. And if you look at the description, it'll say it does not contain any contents in the box itself. And people go crazy after Black Friday to get the item that they missed, and they will end up paying $399 for a PlayStation 5 box to be shipped with you with or without the styrofoam inside of it, so that you can have a box available for your holidays.
Yeah, that's human nature at work there, buddy.
And let me just tell you, eBay lists it as box. They say unopened. That's not the original content. They'll give you all of the warnings. And what happens is once you click on it and you buy that box, you're getting a box, and you cannot get a refund for that.
That sounds like the Toyota scandal several years ago. Do you remember that?
I don't. What was that particularly?
It was Hooters, I believe, was doing this giveaway, and they said you'd win a Toyota.
Yeah.
And they did the contest, and one of the women won the Toyota, and they brought out a Toyota.
Oh, it was a toy?
A toy Yoda.
Oh, boy.
YODA.
Yeah?
And she sued them, and they got in trouble.
They got in trouble. You know, be careful. If you ever watched the Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell, nothing's better than they have this shot that they make, and Will Ferrell says, does anybody have the money to pay this person? And then later on during the movie, Will Ferrell says, well, you won yourself a big check with lots of numbers on it. It's like he's like, no, you can't deposit it. It's just the big check. So be careful what you buy. All right, well, we're going to take a break. When we come on back, of course, we have one more fact regarding some gift cards that we'll get to, and then we're going to have, of course, our This Week in Technology, some very interesting information. So we'll see you after this commercial break. I'm Mr. Mumm. We got Mr. Gourdet there. I'm Nathan Mumm.
Did you forget who you were just now?
Mr. Mumm.
I'm Mr. Mumm.
I'm Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Gourdet here and David Brown behind the board. See you after this commercial break.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, are you bored of TV? Like drugs but can't afford them? Or still paying alimony?
Maybe.
All right, read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writing. It's surreal. It's strange. It's How to See a Man About a Dog. Get your dose of surreal prose and poetry with this dark comedy collection.
Ebook available on Kindle Unlimited. Print copies are available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
That's right. I'm going to go get my ebook on Kindle Unlimited today.
Hey, babe, I hear that you can download a new voice on Siri.
No way.
Yes, it's true. It's a voice that goes, hey, you big hunk. What do you want to do and where do you want to go?
Stop it.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm kidding.
What has tech ever done for our relationships?
We can't talk about that on the radio.
If you want to eavesdrop on juicy conversations that no one is having around all things love, sex, and relationships, join us right here, 1 p.m. on KKNW and wherever you get your podcast.
We look forward to seeing you in the Love Shack.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
My God, that hurt.
All right. Welcome to This Week in Technology. This Week in Technology, we are talking about an item from November 17, 1970. A patent was originally issued for what is considered the very first computer mouse. Douglas Engelbart received the U.S. patent for 3541541 for his XY position indicator for a display system.
That was the original mouse name.
That was the original mouse name.
Indicator.
Yep. More commonly known as the computer mouse, they called this device a mouse because the cord looked like a tail.
Mm-hmm.
The mouse was first prototyped in 1964, but it wasn't demoed until 1968 and was not included in a commercial computer until the Xerox 8010 Star Information System in 1981.
They developed the computer mouse before we walked on the moon.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Very interesting that it wasn't considered mainstream until this company called Apple had the first personal computer that was shipped with a mouse, which was called Lisa in 1983. However, the mouse did become, of course, what it is today, and it is the most common input device in all computer systems.
It doesn't have a roller ball that you have to take out and clean.
It doesn't. You remember the roller balls? Those at Microsoft days. I had those too, and it would get lint in it and all that, and then you'd have to take it out.
Take it out and wash it.
You wash it. Did you actually put yours in your mouth and look at it?
That's what I just did.
You put it in your mouth, and then you got ready to go. Well, it's interesting to understand that the mouse is what essentially made inputting into the computer a standard process.
Yeah.
Microsoft followed. They had the Ergo mouse. There's been many different iterations since then. Nowadays, gamers have normally anywhere between 20 to 25 inputs built on a mouse during their gaming itself.
That's right.
Do you have that on your computer?
I do have a 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a 6 input on the sides.
Yep.
On the side panels.
Yep.
And the main.
And the main 2 buttons. Main 3 buttons to scroll up and scroll down. All right, last note to let everybody know for the holidays. If you want to buy a gift for someone that is special, and you want to save money, there are these things called Game Passes, and there's a slew of them available from PlayStation to Xbox. Nothing's better than getting an Xbox Game Pass for as low as $14.99 per month that includes 100 games you can play, all from cloud gaming. So if you're looking for something and you can't get your electronics, go and buy a gift card, $14.99 per month. Give them to your nephew, give them to your kids so they can play games up to 100 games at a time without you ever having to put a disc inside a machine.
Wow.
There you go. Well, I'm Nathan Mumm. Thank you for joining us on Hour 2 of Tech Time Radio. We got David Brown behind the board and Mr. Gourdet. Thank you, as always, for joining our show.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you guys all next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment in technology today. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service from Apple to Google and everything in between. And also signing up on our YouTube page, where you get to see us live in video. Yep, you can see us chat and have some fun. It's youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily